Harrison Barnes is making a very big early impact on your San Antonio Spurs.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, welcome back to Locked On Spurs. We're doing the Locked On NBA Network. I am your host, Jeff Garcia, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. Way to go, everybody here at the Locked On Network family. Hey, thanks for making Locked On Spurs your first listen each and every day. Free and available wherever you get podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Ken5 Plus app, YouTube. Go subscribe right now. Become an everydayer. If you are an everydayer, keep on being that everydayer that you are. Hey, what are we talking about today? Well, we're going to be looking at Harrison Barnes. Yeah, no. Quick disclosure here. This is recorded before the Bulls game. Just keep that in mind. But nevertheless, what he's been doing in recent games leading up to that game in Chicago has been more than outstanding. He deserves his our attention, your attention. We're going to put him in the spotlight today. Look at some staggering numbers that he's been doing. Early season candidate for me for unsung hero. So we'll talk about that. And then watch out, NBA. Your San Antonio Spurs, yeah, they're getting healthy little by little. Spells doom for the rest of the NBA. We're going to be talking about that in just a few minutes. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. One guy who's coming off the bench, always comes off the bench here on Locked On Spurs. He is back, everybody. Mr. Rudy Campos of the Sports Answer. Kind of trying out a new microphone, and he sounds really good. Way to go, Rudy. He's sounding crisp and clear.
Yeah, trying out a brand new mic, and so far everybody's been very happy with it since I've been able to use it. So I'm glad to finally use it on Locked On.
So that's everybody applauding Rudy and his new microphone there. He is, again, the Sports Answers co-host. He and Derek Gervin bring you all the latest in the world of sports. We'll talk about them in just a few minutes. Make sure to follow him on X at Sweep the League. Let's dive into this, Rudy. Harrison Barnes. I don't think he's getting enough attention, enough applause for what he's been doing in the recent games leading into that game at Chicago. So keep that in mind, everybody. This is ahead of that Chicago game. But nevertheless, he's quietly putting together a very impressive run of games of late. So let me just dive into it here. This is his streak right now, heading into that Chicago game. He has scored double figures in 6 straight games. 24 points against Houston, a team that many thought the Spurs were going to get curb stop, did it. He was a big reason why they did not. Oh, and by the way, he's knocking down threes. Again, in that span, he's recorded at least 2 or more three-point shots, and at one point hit 6 of 9, again, versus Houston, a team that was supposed to be a tough out for the Spurs. But as Ime Udoka said, Spurs punked them. He was a big part of this. I think, and we're going to get some more numbers what Harrison Barnes has been doing, but Rudy, what Barnes has been doing quietly as quote-unquote the eldest statesman on the Spurs roster right now is nothing short but, standing. I mean, talk about his value to this team so far this early season.
Well, his value on the team definitely is a locker room guy. He's a veteran leader. I mean, that's something that we talk about constantly when it comes to guys like Harrison Barnes, but he's been able to show up when some other guys are not showing out, put it that way. I mean, you're talking about a veteran leader that's been averaging, almost 18 points the last couple of games, 6 games is already averaging roughly. So, I mean, kicking it up in another notch, man, especially the 3-point shooting, I think 80% against Toronto, 66% against the Lakers. Same thing against Houston. I mean, if you're thinking about it, Jeff, he's probably shooting close to 55% for the last 6 games from beyond the arc. I mean, unreal numbers for Harrison Barnes, but what he brings to the Spurs is he brings that key knockdown shot, that key moment that they need when they need that big bucket, to kind of get them out of a little funk. That's what Barnes has been providing. And it's funny how when the season started, you heard a lot of fans talking about, well, maybe Harrison shouldn't be in that starting 5. Maybe he shouldn't be getting these minutes. But again, it takes a little bit of time. Brand new system. Mitch Johnson, I mean, it's his own system now. Brand new coaching staff. You got a couple of new guys that are still there. The team's kind of gelling at the right spot, and you can thank Harrison Barnes for that.
Yeah, I want to talk about that 3-point shot a little bit more. Heading into the season, what was the big knock on this team? Do the Spurs have snipers?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Waters? Well, so far he hits occasional, but he hasn't really gotten the rhythm yet. Was it going to be Wemby? Well, he's taking fewer threes. Well, to start the season, he's kind of upped it a little bit late, but that's for a whole other show. But lo and behold, it's been Harrison Barnes has been the sniper for the Spurs. It's almost automatic on that corner three. Every time that ball goes to him in that corner three, I'm like, it's money. And sure enough, it's been money for Barnes. I want to get into some numbers here regarding his 3-point shot. Again, he went 6 of 9 against the Rockets for 66%. He went 4 of 6 for 66% against the Lakers. And the thing about his shooting too is that it's been critical because of the floor spacing. We talked about that when it comes to 3-point shot. Do the Spurs have floor spacers? They have with Harrison Barnes in these last few games. And really, I look at Barnes and my God, I mean, a lot of applause goes to Castle and Wemby and Harper pre-injury, all that good stuff. But I think maybe some of these games they may not have won if it not been for Barnes. Your thoughts?
Oh, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, you've got to give credit where credit is due. And it's the little things. I mean, he's shooting, 100% from the free throw line the last 6 games. I mean, he didn't take a free throw against New Orleans, but it's the little things that he's doing. I mean, he's got maybe, I think, 6-7 turnovers total in that whole span. But like I said, it's kind of a contagious type thing. You've got Harrison Barnes knocking down shots. Now you're starting to see Julian start to knock down a little bit more. Devin's been shooting some pretty good ball the last few games. So shooting is contagious. And if you're seeing a guy like Harrison Barnes knocking down that, that key 3-point shot, even just a key, like you said, from the corner, it's going to get the other guys, it's going to get them a little bit more involved in there. And the thing too is you got to remember is when he starts to knock down those shots, that frees up a lot more space for Victor to work. That frees up a lot more space to Steph Castle to attack the basket. They're going to have to respect Harrison from the corner, from beyond the arcs. I mean, all in all, the last 6 games for Harrison, kudos to him. He started out in the funk. He's able to get out of that funk. Spurs are playing better ball. I know they had a 2-game losing streak there between Phoenix, but in those 2 games, still shooting well over 60% or close to 60% from 3-point range, shooting right around 57%, almost 60% from the field in general, averaged about 13.5 points at 2 games. So even in the loss, he's showing up. He's doing other little things too, Jeff. The assists, rebounds. I mean, he's kind of being a little stat stuffer in these last 6 games.
Yeah, I had a conversation with them after the win versus the Pelicans at home. I joked with them. I said, so are you going to get an invite to the 3-point shooting contest this season? You know what he told me? He fires back at me. He says that he thought that he was going to get invited last season. He goes, I really thought I was going to get invited last season. So, but the clip that he's going to right now, it would be hard pressed to at least the NBA not to look at him as a possible candidate for the 3-point shootout. But again, he'll have to keep it up because he told me it's a kind of a high number mark that the NBA looks at for those that would get invited to the 3-point shooting. Again, way too early for that. Hopefully he can keep this up. We're not done talking about Harrison Barnes and giving him a standing O right here on Locked On Spurs. When we get back, dive deeper into the numbers, look at what those little things that he's doing right for the Spurs and so much more right here on Locked On Spurs. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get into the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of a game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps everything exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. Hey, Spurs season is underway. Might as well jump on the action over at FanDuel. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first 5 bet wins. So, head to FanDuel.com. Sign up right now. Play your game at FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overage, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint makes it simple. All plans come with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep your same number and contacts. You'll love that you're getting the same quality service you had before, but for a fraction of the price. Setup is super easy. Keep your number, and then they'll be running it in minutes. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. Upfront payment of $45 is required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for the first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 GB on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Rudy, is it true that you once went 9 for 9 from the 3 line versus Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker? Like they couldn't stop you?
You know what? They attempted to stop me, but it was my night. That was my night against those guys.
They're with BS right now.
I'm just gonna say that it happened. Well, we'll say
it happened. Hey, there's no video to deny it though, but there's no video to prove it either. So you have to take Rudy's word. You were joined by Rudy Campos of Sweep the League and the Sports Answer. We're going to brag about that in just a few minutes. We're talking about Harrison Barnes and giving him a standing O right here on Locked On Spurs for the solid play that he's been putting together for the silver and black. All right, so let's look at what he's been doing of recent games. So again, leading into that Chicago game, keep that in mind, everybody, ahead of the Chicago game on the road. In the previous 3 games before that, he was averaging 17.7 points per game. There we go. 4.3 rebounds, 1.7 assists. I mean, averaging just 1 turnover and getting it done on the defensive rebounding, nearly 4 a game, shooting 72% from the field in the last 3 games leading into the Chicago game. And the 3-point percentage in the last 3 games, I got to say, repeat it, Rudy, there'll be some Locked On Spurs fan to say, y'all didn't talk about the game against Chicago. We know that. We're talking about the game ahead of the games ahead of Chicago. 56% from the 3 line. So, and again, as you highlighted in the first segment, perfect from the free throw line. That's what he's been doing in the last 3 games. It was just amazing. By the way, update, 65% from the 3 line. I read that wrong. And 72% from the field. But nevertheless, the point is he's playing great. Now, check this out. We're going to get your reaction to this. So let's look at where he ranks right now. As of this recording, where he ranks. So among other forwards at his position, that forward position, this was no shocker. He's first in free throw percentage. He's been really, really good this year. All right. Yeah. But third in 3-point makes, 4th in 3-point attempts, 4th in 3-point percentage, 7th in field goal percentage, and 16th in assist. So he's ranking up there among some of the forwards this NBA season. Considering this is a young squad, Rudy, should we be surprised that Harris is doing this, considering they have so many weapons? And when you think about the Spurs, you don't think, oh, they got Harrison Barnes, they're good. You think Wemby, you think Castle, you think Harper, you think Fox. Why do you think Harrison Barnes is playing so well of late?
Well, the focus isn't on Harrison Barnes. I think you've seen the development between all the way from guys like Keldon, Devin Vassell, even to Wemby, 3rd-year Wemby, the development you're seeing from him. It's making life easier for Harrison Barnes. And, the thing that we also have to realize is with Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox back now, even when Dylan Harper is playing, these guys are slashing, they're getting to the basket, they're slashing, they're cutting, they're making it, tough for defenders to stay in front of them. And what happens, Harrison Barnes' defender is kind of cheating off and trying to stop him, trying to double team, or he's leaving him wide open. And that's the thing that Harrison Barnes is going to thrive on. If you remember, Jeff, during title runs for the San Antonio Spurs, we mentioned guys like Jaren Jackson. You mentioned guys like even like Bruce Bowen, who would hit those key threes. Guys like Gary Neal. These guys right here. I'm not saying Harrison Barnes is at that level, because I mean he's way better than a lot of those guys that we mentioned. But all these guys played a key role, and it's all the same role. Guys come in, knock down those key 3-pointers, knock down those key shots, make a play when you need a play to be made. This is where Harrison Barnes fits on this team. It's a veteran guy. It's a guy that is going to get overlooked on the team because of every star that's around him. I mean, you can't really complain with the start of the season that he's had.
Yeah. He definitely is a weapon for the Spurs on both ends of the court. And so far, so good for Harrison. You know, I really thought he was going to have a letdown from last year from the 3-point line. Feels like there's been no letdown. I thought because remember last season, everybody, he was really hitting those threes with frequency and accuracy, all that good stuff. And I was like, yeah, you know, maybe never does lightning in the bottle for one season. No, but so far he's proven me wrong. Let's take a look at those little things that Rudy's been talking about of late. So we're gonna go to good old Synergy Sports here, Rudy. Synergy Sports classifies him as excellent when it comes to catch and shoot. He ranks in the 89th percentile, and in catch and shoot situations, he's attempted 42, made 20, good for 48%. How about when he's guarded? All right, so now he has a guy in his face. All right. Synergy Sports classifies him as an excellent shooter when he is even guarded. He actually ranks in the 91st percentile among forwards. In those situations, he's attempted 43, made 11, good for 48%. And, you know, the list goes on and on. When he's unguarded, they classify that he's a very good shooter. When he comes to just unguarded, he's hitting about 47% in those situations. And at the rim, too, excellent. You know, they classify him as just an all-around good offensive weapon. I look at Harrison Barnes here. I want to throw some stats at you and tell me you're surprised. Now, obviously, these, you know, there's a lot of factors what I'm about to say, so keep that in mind. But whenever Harrison Barnes is on the court and he gets 30 or more minutes, the Spurs are 5-0. Whenever, I'm saying I got another one here for you. Whenever he attempts 5 or more 3-point shots, the Spurs are 5-2. And I give you throw one more here. Whenever he has 7 or more field goal attempts, the Spurs are undefeated at 6-0. That tells me, Rudy, that he needs to be involved. He needs to be on the court. He needs to be taking his shots. He needs to be on the court, creating all that floor spacing. It's just good for him. Were you surprised at any of these stats I just threw at you?
You know, I'm gonna say probably not. I mean, Harrison Barnes has been consistent for his entire career.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always been not a problem, but he's always been a focal point in somewhere or another, wherever he's gone to play the game of basketball. And he doesn't have to be a superstar. He doesn't have to be a star in general.
Right.
But he is an impact player, and he does everything that you expect him to do as a veteran. So, no, it doesn't surprise me at all. It doesn't surprise me that the Spurs have a lot of success when he's involved. But the key factor is that with the type of skilled players that are around Harrison Barnes, when you make it easy for Harrison, sky's the limit for him. And they're going to continue to win because, again, why? You're so worried about guys like now De'Aaron, like Wemby. Now, you know, you're worried about a guy like the Dylan Harper when he gets back, Steph Castle. These guys are making it a terror for defenders on the opposite side of the ball. Harrison's going to have more success. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say right now, I see continued success for Harrison Barnes this season. And could we see his numbers go up and continue to rise? I think so, until the defense actually starts putting more respect on his name and guards him a lot closer and maybe doesn't come off for a double team. So no, the stats you mentioned, they don't surprise me at all. It's what he's done everywhere he's been in the league. It's not a shock at all.
He's Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistent, the guy the veteran that this team needs, and he's definitely proven it. So I looked up some of the defensive numbers. We've been talking about a lot of his offense. Let's look at some of the defensive numbers here. His defensive rating right now is 114.1, which is about the league average, which is good because the Spurs, I think they allow about 112 this season, so he's right on par there. So again, solid contributor there. You're looking at steal percentage, 1.2. That's around the league average. So again, that helps the Spurs defense as well. Defensive rebounding, about 7.4%. Not dominating the glass, but nevertheless, he's chipping in that department there. All in all, I mean, it just, he's just been so key for the Spurs squad to start the season. As we mentioned in the first segment, we don't think the Spurs probably have the record they have if it was not for Harrison Barnes. Rudy, I'm going to pull up his shot chart in just a few seconds here, but would you think the Spurs would consider trading him this season? Like if they have to do a package, would you throw him in? Would you throw him in there? He has value. We just talked about it. His value is there.
So it's funny you mentioned this because on the Sports Answer, this last episode we did, I mentioned the fact that, do the Spurs have to make a move? And if they do, Harrison might be a part of it, and only because of his contract situation. It's money that comes off the books at the end of the season. So that would be big. He's a veteran guy that can help either a young team or a contending team, whoever he may go. So, for example, if the Milwaukee Bucks call coming along, they would definitely be interested in a guy like Harrison Barnes, because if he doesn't work out, then at the end of the season, the contract's up. They don't have to re-sign him. This freak salary cap right there. So, yeah, I think if any deals involved, Harrison's going to be mentioned in there. Do the Spurs automatically think that he's a guy that should be included? I want to say this. Let's see how guys like Julian Wongers, that's how they start to perform. If they start to continue to knock down shots, that does make Harrison a little more expendable. But for a team that's having this much success, I answered the question on the Sports Answer, and I said, you know what? We like the team we have right now. Even if you're able to get a Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're going to sacrifice shooting. You're going to sacrifice some scoring in some way. And does Giannis bring in three-point shooting? Not like Harrison. Does
not like Harrison? No.
That Harrison brings in. Not like Harrison. Is he a free throw shooter? No.
Not like Harrison. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of questions to be answered, but I think with any trade package, Jeff, he's probably going to be included in those talks.
Yeah. Now, when you were talking, I brought up Harrison Barnes's shot chart ahead of the Chicago game. Not bad, man. Look at that. Not bad at all. He is reliable inside and beyond the three line. Exactly what the Spurs need this season. A threat beyond the three line. He is that so far. All right, look at all that green there. I mean, the corner threes are that's his money right there. But anywhere else, pop on top of the key, above the three line, perfect. I mean, I hope the mid-range game will start falling for him as the season progresses. But if the Spurs needed snipers, Harrison Barnes is one of them. What do you react to this shot chart here?
It's we're almost in December, so it's like Christmas, man. You've got
there you go
more green. I guess he's a fan of the Grinch with all the green that he's got going on there. But it's it shows the reason why the Spurs are successful. If you saw more red on this chart, you're probably looking at a 4, maybe 5 loss Spurs team. There are some games in there where he's been clutch and he's been big. If you go the opposite direction, the Spurs team, they're not winning some of these games. So let's just be thankful that it is green and that he's playing the way that he is, because he has saved the San Antonio Spurs on the season. But the shot chart, I like it, man. I hope it continues to stay green the whole way, but that's fill in those white areas with a little more green there. Get those knocked down, those inside 3-point range.
Exactly. You mentioned him about being a solid locker room guy. He is. I've seen it so far this season. I've been in the locker room a few times this year. Really, really, just a steady presence there. He interacts with a lot of the young guys. Definitely interacts with Keldon. If y'all know how Keldon energy can sometimes be a little bit too much, he definitely, entertains Keldon a lot. But nevertheless, what I see in the locker room, he's just a really good guy. Really interacts well with the rest of the teammates, chats with them, talks with them. Very quiet, but nevertheless, like I've seen players and come up to him, start talking to him. That'd be basketball, just about whatever, and he talks to them as well. So definitely a great locker room presence. But what do y'all think about Harrison Barnes this season? So far in these last few games ahead of the Chicago game, he's been eye-opening stats on both ends of the floor. Let us know what you think on X. You can follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Follow Rudy on X at Sweep the League. When we get back, watch out, NBA. The Spurs are getting healthy little by little.
Yeah, let's talk about game time. Basketball season is officially here. Nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's be real. Getting tickets can be a total headache. Between waiting in queues, surprise fees, prices that jump right out before checkout. Hey, it's easy to get frustrated when it's all you want to do is just cheer on your team. That's where Game Time comes in. The app gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NBA tickets, fast, easy, and free. You can use the Game Time app to grab seats for your San Antonio Spurs. It'll be simple. You can get the great seats in minutes. You'll love what you see because there are no hidden fees at checkout. You can even look exactly at your view before you even buy the tickets with their in-app seat view feature. Their zone deals are a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picks your seats, and you say big. You can even find NBA tickets for under $25. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Hey, let's talk about Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day, locking in on every opening, betting your PR, betting again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. You now can build and execute your own trade from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
We're back right here on Locked On Spurs, joined by Rudy Campos of Sweep the League and the Sports Answer. More on that later. Rudy, watch out now. The Spurs are getting healthy. They got back Fox. The IR report ahead of the Bulls game was that Luke Cornett was questionable, no longer out. Well, hopefully he played that game versus Chicago. Harper, there was an update, which Johnson said ahead of the game versus the Pelicans that he's looking a lot better now. This is what I've been waiting for, a fully loaded, near healthy squad. And it looks like we may get that very, very soon. I've been saying for as much as the Spurs needed Fox, and they have, they really, really have. There's no doubt about it. But a 1B behind Fox for me is I can't wait till Cornette comes back, because when Wemby takes a breather this season so far without Cornette, teams attack and they're scoring. You bring in Luke, it pretty much stays on pace. You know, it's really tough to score in the paint and in the rebound, and this is the defensive present. So we got Fox back. I'm anticipating Cornette to come back ASAP. Your thoughts?
Yeah, once Luke Cornette comes back, you're going to look at a very healthy Spurs team. Then you only have Dylan Harper, who's out, for this for a little while longer. But you're right. Cornette was that firecracker that you needed, we didn't have for years during the Wemby first 2 years. So he comes in, it just continues to stay the pace. He's a very smart basketball player. Obviously, he helped Boston in their winning as well. So, I mean, yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm glad to see De'Aaron Fox back already, putting up, 24 points in like 31 minutes or so, his return. So that was exciting. Once this entire Spurs team is healthy, you're talking about, a 3-point guard tandem of Castle, who's been point guard really well lately. De'Aaron Fox and then Dylan Harper. You're seeing actually a guy that I'm kind of shocked that I talked to Derek Gervin about was Jeremy Sohan. He's playing steady basketball, and he is. It's making it tough for San Antonio Spurs front office to think, if anyone comes a calling, do we make a move? He's not being the, I guess the world beater that a lot of people are expecting him to be. But Jeremy's doing exactly what Jeremy needs to do. He's doing the little things right, getting key steals, rebounds, scoring the basketball when he's given the opportunity. So it's starting to look good. It's starting to gel. As of right now, Jeff, a healthy Spurs team, not even a healthy Spurs team, 85% health.
Sure. Yeah.
It's probably the third best team in the West right now. So, I mean, you can't really fight that. You really can't complain about that. So once this team's healthy, could they catch a Denver OKC? It remains to be seen.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. But I would not be surprised if they do. I would not be surprised, because this team is deep.
I think OKC is the more vulnerable one. Between Denver, Joker is
Denver just an animal.
I mean, it's weird because Joker is probably going to win another MVP, and I don't even think it's going to be close, to be honest.
Interesting. But no, the depth on this Spurs team is just incredible at nearly all positions. We talk about whether they should trade Barnes, at some point this season, and I'd say no. And I also just double down on that. I say no, period, because this is a legit case of we like the team that we have. It really is. It really is. Once they come back fully at full power. Wemby's playing good. I know. And as a matter of fact, with Fox back, I'm not really expecting Wemby to have to put up those big, massive numbers. It'd be great if he does, but he doesn't hate to have to shoulder the burden as much anymore. He can share that with Fox. And then from Fox, from there, it goes to Castle or Harper when he gets back, or Harrison Barnes of late. He's been playing great. So, I like it because the depth would just give Wemby the weapons he needs, where he doesn't have to carry this team night in and night out, but he can if needed, if the team is just coming apart. And think about it too. Fox's return, that game 1, 20-something points already, just like that. And he even said he had rust, said he was rusty. So, this team is looking like it's going to be a big problem for the rest of the West. There we go. A little tongue twister there.
I mean, we're not going to call them title contenders. Not yet. But I mean, it's the future of the San Antonio Spurs. It's here. It's now. I mean, there's a lot to be happy about. And again, we have to always say this, and we have to stress it. Barring any health injuries or anything happening, this Spurs team, I've got them as a 6th seed in the West. But as of right now, they're the 3rd best team in the West. Could they stay in the top 3? I see no reason why not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this team is loaded. We'll see how it shapes up as the season progresses. He is Rudy Campos with the Sports Answer. We've been talking about this whole episode. Tell us about the Sports Answer. What's going on with you and Derek?
Yeah, so me and Derek, we have the Sports Answer as part of Answer Now TV on YouTube. So you want to subscribe there. It's the fastest 30 minutes sports show in town, probably the best 30 minutes in sports that we talk about in San Antonio. We talk from Spurs, we talk NFL, NBA in general. It's always good to get the NBA talk because you get, Derek was a former NBA, New Jersey Nets. So you always get the good vaulted type NBA stories from time to time. But nonetheless, we are going to be doing more videos, more shorts, and actually more shows during the week. So be on the lookout for that. We're not getting just Sunday sports shows anymore. You're going to be getting kind of clips and shorts, stuff like that throughout the week as well. So it's growing monumentally, and I always make announcements on Lockdown. So I got to make.
Okay, what we got today? What do we got?
Sweep the League has been a staple in San Antonio and nationally for going on almost 10 years now.
Nice.
But there's a huge shakeup coming up on Sweep. So I just want everybody locked on that supported Sweep the League, continue to support Sweep the League, but more news is going to be coming out for Sweep the League. So
get that.
Look at that. There's the announcements on Lockdown. That's why I
want to do the Mr. Burns right now. Excellent right now. Yeah. For the latest on what's going on with Rudy, Sports Answer, and then of course Sweep the League, just follow him on X. That's the best way to do it. At Sweep the League, do that right now. Rudy, as always, we thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on Locked On Spurs. That's all of San Antonio just cheering for you right now for hopping on once again. And with that, everybody, we appreciate you all for making Locked On Spurs your first and only spot to come to for all things San Antonio Spurs. We definitely appreciate it. Keep on being an everydayer. We know that you are. And again, congratulations to the rest of the Locked On Network. The Locked On Podcast Network is now the #1 sports podcast network. Thanks to you guys. We definitely appreciate it. So while you're here, might as well just subscribe to every single Locked On podcast show out there, from NBA to NFL to MLB. Just go and have at it. Start subscribing right now. We'll be back tomorrow. I believe we have Dr. Ryan McCorkle on deck. He's going to talk to us about the latest in Spurs injury news and whatnot. Those are very informative. I highly recommend those. So stay tuned for that. And as the season continues. By the way, we're talking about just the network itself. Go and subscribe to Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Wherever you find your favorite podcast, just search for it and you'll see it. There's Josh Lloyd. There's Locked On Fantasy Basketball, and hit the subscribe button, and you're good to go. Do that right now. But looking forward to having Dr. Ryan McCorkle coming on for tomorrow. And he gets all technical with us, but he doesn't know. He tries to keep it as simple as possible. Sometimes I'm like this for you, like, what is he talking about? Huh? Hip bones connected to the backbone. That's what I start thinking right there. But Rudy, thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to join us here on Locked On Spurs. And for everybody else, we thank you all once again. So for Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Locked On Spurs.